To the people who keep saying that we should buy houses and that's a smarter investment of our money than buying cars, I know for me personally, the reason I don't have a house is I was 20 years old when I signed a lease. So, why at 20 years old would I have bought a house? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? So, and even now, the down payment that it takes to purchase a house, I can, use that money and reinvest it in, our business, other investments I have. So why would I take that capital, the maintenance, the yard work, the taxes?
Man, it's not doing no yard work.
And then the interest that it takes, because if you do a 30-year loan, I think you pay like over $200,000 in interest over the course of that. So why would I do that?
Of course, depending on the house value.
I mean, depending on the house. But I think for like a $250,000 house, it's like twice as much you pay for the house. So why would I do that when I can save up, still get a house at like 25, which is still younger than most people get one, and have, hopefully I have like half the house, down payment, Mm-hmm. So, that's the reason why I don't have a house at 22, which nobody does. So I don't know why I keep getting flack for that, but yeah. And I just spend a little money on my car, but it's definitely not enough to make me uncomfortable. So no, I don't spend all my money on the Audi. I don't eat McDonald's every day. Like some white people were commenting,
Right.
You do get them home cooked meals, boo. Let them know.
I do spend some money on my car because that's what makes me happy. So, everybody should spend some money. You should definitely save some money first and foremost, but whatever you like to do, for me, it's my car. But if you like, if you're a female, you like your hair to be laid, get that hair, get that Brazilian, whatever, it's the good hair. If you like J's, get some J, whatever you like, spend a little money on that, because what you learn in healthcare too is there's no guarantee you're gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
None. So you gotta be balanced. You gotta spend a little bit, but definitely save a little bit. You just have that balance.
Biggest thing for me too is, I know my biggest reason for not getting a house is the freedom of not being able to move. Like, if I get a house, I'm tied to it, relatively tied to it, because I can't just like up and go. Whereas with my lease, for example, when I was in Albany, I just paid off my lease and left. Like, it was just that simple. I had the freedom to do that. In the house, I'm there. I'm stuck to it. But I mean, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. But the biggest thing, like he was saying, financially speaking, it to me just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do it at this age, when you can kind of use that money for other stuff, for other investments, to kind of grow yourself to a point where you can buy a house more comfortably, as opposed to saying I have a house at 22, when you really you should have waited 2 or 3 years and done it a little bit better. So I just don't see the point in saying that. I'm not saying that it's not, like, technically speaking, a house is a better investment than a car.
Yeah, it's a better investment.
Yeah.
But my car's not an investment. It's
Right.
just fun.
Right.
It's a waste.
And then nobody knows what my pocket looks like, what your pocket looks like. So you can't rightfully say he spends all his money on his car. You don't know what my pocket looks like. So you can't say that, all his money's on his car. He should have bought a house with that. Maybe I'm saving for a house too, and I happen to enjoy the car as well. So I mean, you can't judge somebody off of that, because you hear 22, 23, he drives his car, he must have spent all his money on that. You don't know what else spend all the money on. I mean, that's being honest. So you too, stop judging people. Y'all not gonna stop, but
I would also like to say too, that would be really stupid, and I just like to say me and him did not get to this point by being stupid, and we're not stupid. So.
But I feel like to be 22 or 23, like driving the cars we drive, I mean, we had to have some type of sense. Or we were spending all the money on the car.
One or two.
Or even like to have the things, I guess they can't see the things that we have around us outside of the cars too, because it's mostly focused on cars. But to even like have the opportunities we have and do the things we do, I mean, to be 22, 23 doing that, people are 30, 40 and dream about that type of stuff. So
it's all about to do it.
Yeah, it's all about being smart and just knowing what you're gonna do with your life, having a plan, and just don't be an idiot. Don't be retarded.
That's pretty much it. Don't get people pregnant, because that stops a lot of dudes from that stops a lot of dudes from having any money.
Never moving out of the house.
Because child support is they gonna get that money, but did you know they will garnish your taxes and all type of crap?
Yeah.
So
I ain't got no kids.
I don't have no kids either, so
I don't never want kids.
don't have any
Kids.
kids. Don't have any kids, and be reasonably smart. Because if you look at a lot of people, especially older people who don't have much, 90% of the time, only if they got sick, I would say. I guess they can't control that, but 90% of the time is because they made stupid decisions. Have a bunch of kids, or you know, just went to school, their own thing, in debt. A lot of people are in like a whole lot of debt. A whole lot of debt. So avoid credit card debt. I'll say that too. Because that interest can be a mug. So
Credit card debt,
credit card debt.
in addition to student loan debt, in addition to debt on cars that are not even as nice as Audis and M3s, like just making bad decisions can follow you for a long time. So just be careful about everything you do. Think twice. My parents always taught me with purchases, especially big purchases, leave it the first day, and if you still want the second day, then think about getting it. I just want to say something, man, because I mean, I've been kind of, I'm not one of those people who's like, black rights this, black rights that, but realistically speaking, man, growing up as a black man, there are disadvantages. There have been times where, you know, when I got my car, I got pulled over for everything under the book, like in the book. Like, I got pulled over one time because a cop said I looked like I was going to run. Literally said, you look like you were going to run. What? But yeah, so, and this doesn't even just apply to just black men, black people in general. Like, everybody, realize that sometimes you're at a disadvantage and kind of be smart about situations you put yourself in. Even with going back to like the thing about having kids or anything, like any situation you put yourself in, think before you put yourself in a situation. Especially with us as car guys, more directly speaking, if you know that, you know, you're in a certain part of town that people don't want you in, you're in a certain car people don't want to see you in, don't draw undue attention to yourself. Like, enjoy what you have without flaunting it. There's no reason for you to go places and literally make a scene of yourself, because undue attention can cause a whole lot of problems. So just kind of be careful about how you use your wealth, I guess. Like, don't be too flashy with it. Just be careful. Just realize that certain people don't want to see you have nice things. And like DJ Khaled, they don't want to see us riding in M3s. They don't want to see us riding in Audis. So you just gotta realize some people out there, they don't do nothing but live to take what you got. So don't put yourself out there. Don't let people know everything you got, because somebody on YouTube right now could be watching and plotting on how to come get what we got. Or somebody could be, your friends could be sitting there plotting and thinking how they gonna steal what you got. I mean, don't ever let nobody see your whole hand. Like, unless it's somebody that you trust, like your kinfolk, man, don't let nobody see your whole hand. Don't ever show your whole hand, because, I mean, this is the reality of the world we live in. People want to take what you got. People don't want to work for it. They want to take yours. So be careful. Just be very cautious out there in the streets. It's crucial.
Definitely do that, but definitely make sure that you have fun too. You know, definitely travel. I want to admonish everybody to travel and see more of the world, and I think that'll like help you be more well-rounded and get further in life. Because I know that's actually how me and Calvin started hanging out more.
Yeah.
Because me and him actually didn't really hang out until we were way it's not like we were childhood friends.
No.
I did not know this man.
Nah, I knew of him. Like,
Yeah,
I heard his
I knew
name
he was,
before.
yeah. On site. I saw him around the city or whatever.
Yeah.
But we was probably at 19, 18?
Yeah. I was 19.
Yeah, I think I was 18 when we first started hanging out. We first started traveling. We used to go to Florida all the time. So, you know, definitely everybody, you know, travel, see the world, broaden your horizons, hang out with different people, different types of people from all different nationalities, backgrounds, countries, you know, and, you know, that'll definitely help you to, you know, proceed in life.
Because I never like I said, I knew D growing up. I kind of heard of him. I never would have thought we would have been this close. Like, D's like my brother at this point. Like, I never would have thought we kind of help each other in areas. Like, there are certain things he helps me with, certain things I help him with. And I never would have thought that, like, just seeing him, I never would have been like, oh, this cat can help me with my life. Like, so get to know people, man. Like, don't judge people by the cover. Like, figure out what they are as a person, because you just never know who's going to be that person that's there for you and when you need them, or who's going to really just help you grow as a person. Networking is the key to success.
And make sure that your friends, your closest friends, are people who will help you, and make sure they will tell you no. If you never hear your friends say no, then because you're doing something wrong at some point. If they're your close friends, at some point you're thinking wrong and you're doing something wrong for sure. So if they never tell you no, they're always just like, yeah, bro, yeah, bro, yeah. Just always no. No, because you know I know Calvin, you know, has told me no several times. It makes sense, you know. So definitely keep friends who are not idiots around, and you know who will
people who are willing to be honest with you, man.
and you know who will definitely keep you straight, and that'll help you out a lot too.
He said they'd be like, yeah, man, yeah, that's cool, bro. Yeah, do that, bro, do that. Go and jump out the bridge, bro. Go and do that, man. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's why I respect my dad so much. That's why growing up, I know he mentioned your role models. My role model is my dad, man. My dad has always kept me in line. I mean, he's always been the guy that's like told me straight up, don't do that, that's stupid. Or do that, that's where you need to go. Like my dad is 110% straightforward. He's gonna tell you what it is and what it ain't. And that's how I am. That's how I feel like most people need to be. You need friends like that. D's the same way with me. If I say something and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, Phil, we're not gonna do that. And it makes sense. So definitely have people in your corner that are willing to be like, bruh, that's dumb. It's stupid. It's retarded.
No, you said it kind of hard.
That's how we feeling sometimes. What y'all over there whispering about?
Don't worry about all that.
What y'all over there whispering
We need to have our own channel.
Y'all should.
About BMZ
More money.
and car guys.
So I guess also too, I just wanted to mention for the people who are, maybe in college, and definitely comment and let us know if you want us to do more videos about like what you should do, maybe some suggestions or just some life suggestions in general or whatever. But if you're having trouble in school, in college, maybe you're young or whatever, a lot of people do struggle in school taking tests because that's how our education system is set up. I don't think that's the best thing, but the fact is, if you're not good at taking tests, then you are behind the 8 ball miserably in school. If this is you, if you do struggle with taking tests, the biggest advice I can give you is what somebody told me once, because like I said, taking tests was easy to me, even in respiratory school. I never really studied much, even in respiratory school. If I see something one time or hear the teacher say it, then I won't forget it. But when you're studying, study in a way, because some people learn by seeing it, reading it, hearing it, whatever. Know which one you are, first of all, and then once you have studied in that way, make sure you know it in your head, and then try to teach it to somebody else. Whoever you live with, if you live with your parents, your little sister, your brother, try to go explain what the test is going to be about to them. And if you can explain it to them, then you will start doing much better on your test, I promise you. So make sure, because somebody said, it's a study done, you remember like 10% of what you read, 30% of what you hear, some crap like that, but you remember 90% of what you teach, which is why you can see teachers get up there and just teach it and not, have to look at nothing. So definitely for all y'all struggling in school, know which kind of learner you are and teach it. Even if you don't live with nobody, just teach it to like a whiteboard and just draw out diagrams. If you can't do it, go back and study some more. Try teaching it again until you get it. So, just my little quick spiel about motivating my poor test takers.
I hate tests.
I like tests. I love taking tests.
Hate.
I always thought it was a challenge.
I never liked how, like, especially in high school, because I was that kid in high school that, like, I would skip your class or, like, pull up to class late with my music bumping, shaking the whole trailer, and then, like, come in with, like, a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and then, like, ace your test. So, like, teachers would always, like, get on my case about, you get to college, not gonna be able to do that. And I went to college and did the exact same thing, except probably worse, because I rarely ever came to class in college. And so I got into the actual nursing program. So I can't really relate on the test taking thing. I have no test taking tips whatsoever. I just kind of went in there and just like, that looks right. Hey, gone.
I know with me in high school, I didn't study much, which is why I wasn't the valedictorian, because there was one girl, she would like do every single extra credit thing and make sure she had hundreds in every class. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, if I have an A, I'm straight.
She's doing the absolute
But oh yeah, but there was this one teacher who I did not like. And so how about, like, she didn't like the fact that I would come in, not pay attention, be texting, and just ace every test. And it was a pretty hard class too, but I was like, because I'm good at taking tests, I'm like, you're not gonna, I finally told her, I'm like, you're not gonna be able to make a test hard enough, to, make me have to study. So how about this chick, like, tried to make a test, like, super hard, the next test. How about everybody else failed it, and I still passed? I'm like, you're an idiot. Not everybody else failed, so she ended up having to throw that test out. So she like went out of her way to try to make a test hard enough to phase me, and I'm like, no, it's too easy. Yeah, I guess so. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's just a quick spiel of kind of our backgrounds, what we do for a living. We have been getting a lot of questions about that.
Kind of who we are as people too.
Right.
What we stand for. Because Nowhere Drive 229, like the 229, by the way, if y'all didn't hear it in the previous video, is where we come from. It was the area code of the place we come from. So Nowhere Drive 229 is more than just car reviews and edits of cars and this, that, and the other. It's just a lifestyle to us. It's bigger than cars to us. It's more about like, if we can help anybody become anything they want to be to get the car they want or get the house they want or whatever, we're here for that too. Any of our friends can vouch. We'll help you in any way that we can. It's bigger than that. So anything that y'all ever want to see us talk about, even if it's not related to cars at all, if y'all just want some type of motivational topic, y'all want us to talk about something that's just, you know, completely unrelated to cars, just let us know. Try to get a video up for you. Simple as that.
I'd also just like to say Nowhere Drive 229 is also definitely, as a whole, about, you know, being healthy, you know, traveling, living life, but most importantly, being healthy and loving the ones around you. Because me and, like we say, we both work in the healthcare field. Your health and the health of your loved ones can be taken very quickly. So definitely, you know, you might see us driving a little fast or something, but, you know, definitely be careful when you all are driving, even though it's a car channel. You know, definitely don't be, you know, driving in the rain crazy. Don't be doing super crazy stuff, because not only are you endangering your life, but the ones around you. Because I've seen many people come in the ER, you know.
Tell them about your coworker that got on a motorcycle.
We saw many people.
On this topic,
We've seen many people come in the ER who thought that they were going to, you know, see their loved one, be able to kiss them, you know, again, never saw them again. Quick shout out, well, not a shout out, but on a sad note, to my coworker PK. He worked at the hospital that I work at. He left 2 daughters and a wife. He used to love motorcycles, and he was only like 30, I think 35, maybe around there years old. He had 2 young daughters, a beautiful family, and you know, I'm sure they thought they were gonna see him again, but you know, now he's gone in a motorcycle wreck. But you know, anything can happen. So just make sure you're healthy, long term with your eating habits, staying fit, but also driving and just anything else you do. Be healthy, and then second of all, be grateful for that and anything else you have. Because even though you see me and Calvin always striving, you know, to get better cars, better things, please know that we are, you know, grateful for the cars that we're able to have, the things we're able to do. And you know, that's not who we are. You know, if I didn't have the Audi, I'd still be the same guy. You know. Somebody took that away, I'd get, you know, whatever, I would start crying.
And on a personal note, I mean, yesterday I found out my grandma died. And it made me think about the fact that you really got to tell the people you love that you love them. Like, don't take it for granted, like you said, that they're going to be there. That they're going to be there for you to say, hey, I love you, or I miss you, or I haven't talked to you in a while, because they may not be. I mean, my grandma, like, we hadn't talked in a minute. Just because, you know, I always assumed she was just going to be there. Like, my other grandparents were already dead. They died when I was young. But just realizing that she's not there anymore kind of put things in perspective for me. Like, if you have people around you that you care about, tell them. Tell them you care. Tell them you love them. And just show affection to the people that you feel affectionate to. Like, don't hide it. Don't withdraw from people just because y'all are having some type of dispute. Like, make up, talk to people, love the people around you, and don't take anything for granted.
Be thankful, be healthy, be safe. You know, use seatbelts and all that. And that's been D and Calvin.
Nowhere Drive 229.
Are we gonna do the handshake thing?
I forgot it.
Please put that on your blooper.
Bruh. Do it again.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Was it up or sideways?
It's like dropping it down. Like the 2 is sideways, drop it down.
But wasn't it up here though? And then we dropped it down?
I mean, we were standing up, so it's easy to do that.
Okay. So it was like. Okay, I remember that. Alright.
I feel like this is weird.
That was weird. That maybe I need to stand up because that looks weird on camera.
But even if we stand up, it's not gonna really flow because we're gonna go, Nowhere Drive 229. We're just gonna cut right to that scene, so it's gonna look weird. I think we should just do that.
But we just messed up the ending, y'all.
We should throw that in.